Hey up, hope you're well, all looking after each other. If you saw last week's video, I mentioned that I was going to be bringing the koi from the main pond. I'm going to be bringing them in here. These little guys in here have been cycling the filter for me. It's been a couple of months, so I'm hoping that everything's going to be good and I can bring the koi out from outside and put them in here. These fellas will then go outside. Obviously before I move them, I want to test the water and make sure it is alright. This is real time as well, I haven't done it yet, so good, bad or ugly, we're going to test through the water parameters and make sure it's good for my koi in the pond. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to just go through the different test kits I've got and I have used. And it's all my opinion, it's all my findings, and it's all what I've used over the last 18 months, couple of years. Just for arguments, this photometer, it's a Hanna test kit. I mean, it's ridiculously good, but it's ridiculously expensive. So for your average koi keeper, I mean, it's a lot of money. If money's no object and you want the best results for testing your water, then I don't think you can get much better than the photometer. You can see it comes in a nice kit, you get everything, you get all these reagents, but they're not cheap, the reagents, so you're looking at it's probably about 50p a test, thereabouts. So just purely from a cost perspective, and you've got a pond like I have down the bottom of the garden, do you need this? I would suggest no. I used, when I first put the pond in down the bottom of the garden, this is what I used, the API. I've never had a problem with it. It always gave me decent results and it enabled me to monitor what was going on in the pond, and more importantly, if I thought I had issues, I was able to test and it would tell me if I had issues or not. And for me, again, my opinion, my experiences, that's all you need. You will quickly become accustomed to how your pond is running, and you will see if there is something wrong. The first port of call when there's something wrong is test your water parameters. And for me, I would suggest that kit there, a 25 quid kit, 800 tests on all the separate parameters, I would suggest that's all you need. I've also got a pond lab, and again I would suggest it's as similar as the API. It's actually got a couple more parameters. It's a similar price, 20-25 quid, and for your average it'll tell you exactly what you need to know. The reason I got this was when we open up, I just want to be able to offer the facility for pond keepers that don't have test kits to be able to come down and I can test the water parameters for them. Like you get in pet shops, basically. Some of them offer tests where you can go and test your parameters. So that's why I got that. Bit of an excuse really, new toy. But there you go. So I'll stop waffling. What I am going to do, I'm going to test the parameters of these two tanks with each kit. I am going to do the ammonia and nitrite. I may test the nitrate. I am expecting there will be a bit of nitrate. But other than that, we should be good. So I'm going to crack on and do that. So I've just finished all the testing, and as I was packing up, what I thought would be an interesting comparison is just to do the pH for each kit, just to see the difference. So I've got all the vials ready and we're going to go through that now. So we're going to try and do this one-handed again. So each of these tests is it's a direct read, it's instant, so we need 5 drops in there. This is a high range because I know my pH always sits fairly high, so I know that we need to use the high range for the API. The NT Labs is we've only got a single test range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's 5 of the phenol. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is. Let's do 5 in the vial. Right, so that's everything applied where needed. Stick that on there. That's the lid on. Put that on there. And we'll put that on there. Right, so we'll swirl that, give that a shake. Give that one a shake. So, what have I done with those? So we can have a read. So yeah, like I say, my pH, it's always 8.2, and yeah, sure enough, there it is on that scale. And I say that because the API is what I've been using for the main pond in particular for as long as I've had it, and I've been really consistent with that. It's always 8.2. So pH on here, that's fairly consistent, so that's, I would suggest that's 8 on the NT labs. So 8.2, 8 on the NT labs. Swirl the phenol red in there. Just clean the vial. So obviously we've got a baseline test vial. We've got to change the method. Ammonia, let's go down. pH, select. Put that one in to 0. There. And then I'll just wipe the outside of this bottle as well. We'll do a read. 8.3. So I think that's a fair comparison and a decent indicator, even with the basic colour set and the basic test kits. We were saying 8.2 for both test kits, thereabouts between 8 and 8.2, and the photometer readers come up at 8.3. So just back to my point earlier, do they do a job? Absolutely. Do you need to spend the money on that? I would suggest not, to be fair, but if you've got it and you want it, it's a great bit of kit, and I'm still learning how to use it, as you'll see in the upcoming footage. But yeah, so we'll get on to the rest of the test now. So very quickly, with the photometer, you have these nice little glass vials. I'm sure you'll have seen these before with previous YouTubers doing these. One of them is a test as the water sits, so there's no reagents in there. You'll put that in and do a test, and that gives you a baseline, and then you add your reagents to the vials as you need. Quick tip, this 20mm syringe is perfect. It just makes it a lot easier for putting the correct amount of reagents in any of these test kits. So we'll get the reagent in there and we'll run the test. Right, so what I've done, I have added the 8 drops of each liquid into the API and 5 drops of each liquid into the NT Labs kit. So you've got to wait, I think 10 minutes for that one, 5 minutes for that one. So we're going to wait and see what colours we get. We're now going to select low range ammonia on there. So lift the lid, stick that one in, and that's to 0 it. So that, like I said, that gives you your baseline. So there you've got a 0 reading. So we're now going to try, it's 4 drops of each of this reagent into the little vial. Try and do that. Let's have a look, make sure we've got A. Yeah. Trying to do this one-handed. Let's have a look. One, two, three, 4. And it does say to swirl that, so we will do. And then 4 drops of the second. This one's a bit more runny if I remember. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So we'll stick the lid on that. So we'll now replace that baseline vial. Swirl that one slightly, make sure there's no bubbles. We've also got like a lens cloth. We'll clean the outside of the vial because it's a photometer. It reads the liquid through light, so we'll put that in there and we'll set the timer. So there, 3.5 minutes before we get that read. So I'm not going to bore you with that. We will come back in 3 minutes. So the first one we can get a read on is the API, and you can see there's a hint of green to that. So it's not yellow, is where we want to be at 0. I would suggest it's probably 0.25. However, you can see there is absolutely 0 on the ammonia test with the NT Labs. So then we come to the photometer, and that's showing 0 as well. So I don't know why that's flashing. It doesn't normally flash. Check sample prep. Let's just have a look, make sure that's clean. But you can see there's no colour change on the reagents on there either, so it would suggest it's a 0. Okay, right, so it sort of shows the API is showing that there is slight ammonia in there. The NT Labs is showing 0, and the photometer is also showing 0. So I would tend to go with the 0. So what we're going to do, we're going to do the nitrate now and see how that compares. So I'm quickly going to do the nitrite, and I'm going to do them as we are, because they are instant reads. So you put the solution in, shake them, and you get a read on that straight away. So we're going to do the API. You can see on the bottle, it's quite self-explanatory. It says add 5 drops. So we're going to do that if we can get the child safe cap off. We're going to do 5 drops. And what we're looking for is a real pale blue, which you can see, hopefully. Yeah, that's what we're getting there. Like I said, that's an instant read, so you can see 0 nitrite. So that's a good reading on that one. And for how many drops? It's 5 drops of the solution in this one. This is the NT Labs. 5 drops. And instead of getting a nice blue colour with this one, we're looking for 0 colour change. So basically we're looking for it to remain clear, which it is doing. So that, yeah, that's the nitrate, that's showing clear, and that shows you on there. So yeah, that's an all good for the nitrite, which is good. So give me 2 minutes. Well, in fact, what I will do, oh, I pressed the wrong button. So let's take that out. I'm still not convinced by that. I may run back and check that ammonia again. I'm not sure why that's flashing. It's never done that. So, and it says check sample and prep there. Again, I haven't used this an awful lot yet, but I'm certain it should just come up with a figure without flashing. So I'll come back to the ammonia. So what we're going to do, we'll put the, in fact, no, what we will do, put that back. Let's go to the method. What we are going to do, you check on your reagent, see what you've got. We've got nitrite low range. I hope you can see that. So there is so many different checks you can do on this with the right reagents, obviously. Nitrite low range, we'll select that. So then we will get the vial and 0. Right, so now we've got that. So now we're going to grab a fresh one and put some water in. We'll put 10 ml in. So the only thing that I'm not keen on so far with this Hanna is the nitrite test, and some of the other, I think the pH as well. The reagents are in powder form, so you get a little sachet. You do get scissors as well with the sachet, and you have to add the powder. So we'll do that. It's just a little bit more faffy, if you like, so that's all that in there. Just stick the lid on, give that a good shake. Right, so it says wait 15 seconds. We'll make sure we get all the air bubbles out. what I did get, a bit of a shout out actually, I got this from Healthy Koi, and they've printed out this cheat sheet that you get, and it tells you in idiot terms basically, which is I'm grateful for, what to do with each test. Really handy. It already came laminated in with the pack, so yeah, thanks for that. So right, we can do that now. We can stick that in. Let's just check and test. I'm just double checking actually. Nitrite, it says 15 minutes, so we'll wait 15 minutes. So we'll set the timer. Yes, it is 15 minutes. I thought that was an instant read, so I got that wrong. So I will come back to you in 15 minutes. So we're just coming to the end of the countdown there. That's for the 15-minute wait time for the nitrite. But it already goes to show the fact that you can get an instant read on these kits, on the API and the NT labs. For the nitrite it was instant, so, and I mean it doesn't do much harm I suppose waiting 15 minutes for possibly a more accurate reading, but for my mind both test kits straight away showed 0 for nitrite. So we will see what that says. And when we got to about 5 minutes left on this timer, about 4 to be honest, I have redone a ammonia test because I wasn't happy with that. I don't know why it was flashing. Maybe it just got a bit of dirt on the bottle maybe. So we will go through that again. So very quickly, that's what the NT labs will test for you. Ammonia, nitrite, nitrate, pH, GH and KH. So the API doesn't do your GH and KH, it's just pH, high and low range, ammonia, nitrite and nitrate. So you get everything you need, I would suggest, with these tests. This will do everything and more. Right, so there you go. You've got a, so that's showing there a read of 17. So it is showing a very, very, very minute trace of nitrite. That's what you don't get with these test kits. At least you know it's not a harmful trace. That's the main thing. You know that for the sake of the fish you can look at that and say actually you know there's not a lot there, but in actual fact if you do this test you can see there is. I would be very surprised with any body of water. I'm sure you could test, and the more you test the more accurately you test, I'm sure you will be able to find something. So what we're going to do now, we are going to go back, ammonia low range, select. So we're going to take that out. This is the baseline, so we're going to 0, 0, and this is already sat now for about 4 or 5 minutes, so that doesn't need to sit any longer, so we can just straight away read. So we're getting that again. Yep, I'm not sure whether that's saying it's 0 and in real life it shouldn't be 0, 0, 0, but hey, let's have a look. I'll see if I can find anything in the book. I'll get back to you. So I've been through the book and I can't find anything, so anybody a lot wiser than me have any ideas why that's saying check sample? It doesn't matter what vial I put in, it is saying that. You can change as well the so the composition that you're checking of the ammonia, so I've changed all that, so I've no idea. No, they stopped it. Yeah, I'm still not convinced by that. So if anybody has any ideas, as we saw, the nitrite checked perfectly well. I did say at the beginning of the video I am doing this real time as well. It's not set up to show everything, how wonderful everything is. So there you go, warts and all. I'm not convinced by that. I've never seen it do that. I have used it a small amount. I haven't used it massively, but I've never seen it flash and say check sample, and obviously we did it twice and got the same result, so there may be something wrong there. Anybody wiser than me, please let me know. So that's a breakdown. Basically the point of the video, I'm testing my water to make sure it's fine for my koi, which I'm fairly certain it is now with the 3 tests that we've run. So the next video I'll probably be putting the koi in the tank. So yeah, it certainly wasn't a this is what you need, this is what you should do. Again, my experiences, this is what I've used, and this is what I've been trying to use, but I'll get my head around this, and I'm certain we'll get it sussed. So thanks everyone that's come back. If you haven't already, or if you found it helpful, like and subscribe, really appreciate it, and we'll see you again next week. Cheers.